Rita GT is a Portuguese artist currently having an exhibition, a performance here in Budapest at the Liget Galéria. How came the idea to take your performance here to Hungary?
So this is a work I made in 2009, first time in Lisbon. It's where I met Lila, the other artist, that we were together in the same residency. And in that residency it was like a domestic environment because it was like an apartment and a house. So I right away thought about this performance, about just like subversing the space of a woman that normally is in the domestic environment. And this exhibition is about questioning that the role of a woman in the society, in the house, everywhere. So we thought that it was very important to have this performance here today.
How is the current cultural political situation in Portugal? There were a few months ago a political election where there's a new government and instead of a leftist coalition, now the new government is a single party minority government from the middle right side, who needs the votes from either of the left parties or the right wing to have the needed amount of votes for any law. How is it this shift from leftist majority government to middle-right minority government with eventually changing majorities having an effect on the cultural life of Portugal?
Well, it's hard to put it in words in a very fast and simple way because it's actually connected to our past, of course, like here in all Europe and in the entire world, because there's like this history, political history that chased us, so to say. So we were into a dictatorship and then we went to democracy. At the same time, and more or less the country, the European countries. So for me, like seeing in a general view, because I'm not like a political expert, I do political art, but it's not so much connected to politics. But I think nowadays it's like we have to question how democracy is working. You know, like because we had all these times where it was very popular to have all these dictatorships like communism or far-right dictatorship era, and then we came from democracy, which like theoretically it's beautiful and brilliant, but I think now at this point we can see that it's not working anywhere. Because we are ruled by a capitalist system, and that's not, it's above politics. So democracy is not being put in practice anywhere. So I think it's something that we have to reflect about. What is going on in our lives, in our societies about this politics in general. Of course, in the case particular of Portugal, we've been like swapping between PS, PSD, which is like center left, center right all this time, and then of course these elections came after COVID, and COVID was like tough times because it was a lot of intense time for the politics. So let's see. For me, myself, I feel like democracy has its times counted, so to say.
It was mentioned at the event that it is quite important to interconnect the Portuguese and Hungarian feministic art scene currently, and also to look at the similarities of the society in the Salazar era and the current Orbán era here in Hungary. What are the parallels you can see, and how much of the cultural and ethical and gender political and sociological values and concepts of the Salazar era is still surviving in the current times?
I think we have this mutual struggle, which is like women's rights. We still, in 21st century, still struggling for the same rights of women and men. Mostly, I mean, and in the specific countries, we're talking about the white rights. So we are already privileged because of our skin color. So imagine in other societies are non-white persons. So we still live in a world that was set by the white supremacy. So we still have so much to be done. And what I see is like we live in cycles. So the history of humanity is repeating in loop about all this injustice and disrespect about just like this discourse of power who tries to individualize the more vulnerable, so to say, persons historically thinking. So to say, women, children, a woman of color, men of color, of course, as well. So I think this loop is constantly repeating, and I see that's happening here. Of course, we are talking about like more modern slavery times, so to say, but we are still engaging with this slavery society.
What are your plans for the future? Are you also planning more performances here in Hungary or back in Portugal or other places around Europe or outside?
Well, I would be very happy to be invited to come back and do more work in Hungary. I really love this experience. It was very well done, very professional. It was. I'm proud that I made part of this project. And for the future, I actually don't know very much how to say, just because I'm in this very much time of reflecting and questioning my role as an artist and what can I do in the realm of contemporary art so I can be truthful with my mission as an artist and not be getting like stuck in this more market-based kind of making art, you know. So I just want to continue my research, my body of work, my art practice to be more based in ideas, in concepts, in being like more activist or art as critical thinking. It's what I've been educated to do and it's what I believe. So I just want to be truthful with myself somehow.